Sean Bentley.
What's up, CFO gang? It's your boy Jay Tuck back with another episode of the Cowboys fans only episode. So you guys know the drill. Hit that. No, I'm not going to do that. Shouts out to my guy, Philly Notion. We're not going to do that. But go ahead, comment, like, subscribe, somewhere down there. I see the chat is already fired up. That's what I like. I like when you guys bring that heat. And I have a real special guest today. These two, I tell you, like, I met with them on a show about 4 weeks ago, probably like a month or so. And to be honest with you, you ever meet somebody and it really feels like family? And like, that's how we kind of hit this thing off, man. So I had to bring them on the show. So with no further ado, I would like to present Nisha, Jonathan, SoFlo Cowboys are in the house. Let's go give them a big CFO welcome. What's going on, guys?
What's going on, everybody?
Hey,
Thanks,
what's up?
thanks for having us on the show, man.
Yeah, man, appreciate it, man. Like, I appreciate you guys coming on. Like I said earlier, like it felt like family when we had our first show, and so it's like I gotta bring these guys back on. Like to let you know the type of relationship that me and Jonathan have. Everyone, after we had our show, we played Madden, right? And he beat me bad in Madden. So the fact that he was able to beat me in Madden and still like invite him on the show, that shows the type of level of respect I have for these two, man. So how's things been going you guys' way?
Good, man. Good.
So far, so good.
We're just ready for this football season. What, 3 weeks? What are we, 3 weeks away?
About 3 weeks away.
3 weeks away, play the Rams open night, man. Can't wait.
Yeah, can't wait. Before we dive into football season, go ahead and tell everyone where they can find you. Because, like, guys, if you see in the background, their man cave, their house is like amazing. Like I'm envious of it, and so they have one of the best man caves I've ever seen. I tell people when I was setting up mine, I actually saw theirs because it was on Pinterest somehow, some way, and so I was like, oh, I like their setup. Yeah, I need to find that pin. I probably still have it pinned, man. But go ahead and tell guys where they can find you and subscribe to all your channels and everything.
Hey guys, we are SoFlo Cowboys, so obviously from sunny South Florida. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Just type in SoFlo Cowboys. We are all over social media.
Yeah, guys, like I said, go ahead and comment, like, subscribe, join their channel, man. They're building their community. Like I said, they're doing great things. And I seen Nisha the other night. She was on My Cowboys Family for the ladies' night. You guys rocked it. And so Jonathan's my guy. We've been talking all day about Madden.
Yes, sir.
So we're gonna dive into it. So we have to dive into this hot topic button that everyone is talking about. And Jonathan, like I follow you on Twitter, man. So I see you've been very vocal about this whole situation and what's going on. So let's do it. Earl Thomas.
We want him.
You want him.
Bro.
All right. So go ahead and tell me why.
All right, look. It's been a long time since we've had a safety in Dallas, or a real good safety, right? I mean, the past 15 years, what have we had? Maybe what? 2 okay safeties, maybe what? In Ken Hamlin back in 07, 08, and then what? Maybe Barry Church was decent.
Barry Church. Some would say Roy Williams possibly.
Roy Williams, after all the rules came in, and he couldn't cover no more. But yeah, Roy. But we haven't just had that ball hawk mentality back there either, man. Somebody that can just roam around the back there, scare offenses. You know, it's time, man. We've had Heath for a couple of years, and it didn't work out. And now we're hearing Clinton Dix is having to split reps with Darian Thompson, and there's guys back there like Worley trying out and Reggie Robinson. It's kind of concerning, man. It's kind of concerning when you have a talent like Earl Thomas on the free agent, not free agent, but on the block after he got released. You gotta try to take a chance on him, and you gotta take a chance on him.
You have to. I mean, like you said, look at the past years. We've never had a solid safety. Like we've never had somebody that's been their aggressive ball hawk like Earl Thomas is. So now, again, you're looking at training camp. There's no true player. So Clinton Dix is who we brought in, has the experience, worked with Mike McCarthy. He has what we would think be that a little bit of aggressive behavior, but now he's being outplayed by Darian Thompson. So now I'm like, it concerns me. It's like,
now it gets a little concerning now.
Okay, who's going to be? So if that's the case, then why even get? It's like the same thing. Like you got rid of Jeff Heath to not upgrade him. Now you're at the same playing field. I believe. Right. So now you're getting Earl Thomas. You're getting that. And the issue is going to be, of course, locker room.
Yeah, that's going to be my next question.
Issues he has, but I think, and this is what I just think, that he's always wanted to play in Dallas.
Right.
I think that would be a little bit of a motivation, and we know we've dealt with players that had those situations. Those situations. I'm pretty sure Jerry's going to put something in that contract to say, like, listen, if this is this behavior, then you're done. And I think it's going to be his last hope. But like I said, like we were talking about earlier, we haven't brought him in yet because we don't want to seem desperate yet.
Right. Yeah, I think the Cowboys are waiting to see what the market is for him before they actually throw out some money to him. Because remember, he's still going to have a dispute with the Ravens about guaranteed money that he was supposed to have. I think it was like $10 million.
Right.
So if I'm the Cowboys and they say, hey, and they have to pay Earl, hey, listen, here's a couple million when you want to come play for us, you know? So there's some stuff, there's a process going on right now. There's a lot of in-house discussions like Mike McCarthy and Stephen Jones were talking about, but nothing. I don't see it I don't see it happening. I personally don't see it happening because Mike McCarthy came out and was talking about the locker room, and I believe if it's up to Jerry Jones, yes, Earl Thomas is a Dallas
Oh
Cowboy.
yeah, of course, but I don't think.
But there's some guys I think in the front office that are just pulling back a little bit on that.
Jerry's not running the show 100% anymore, so I think that's why we haven't signed.
When I heard Mike McCarthy go up on that press conference and he was like, "Listen, the locker room is very important to him and to his team," then he's heard some stuff about Earl Thomas.
Yeah, and that's what my question was going to ask you guys. And, you mentioned little instances that we had in Baltimore, but would you want to risk him coming in and really being a cancer in the locker room? Because a lot of people say this, and I see this all over Twitter. Oh, he wants to come to Dallas. He wants to come to Dallas. He'll be perfectly fine. But what if he's not happy in Dallas? I mean, things have happened because we've been down this road numerous times before. You mentioned the Greg Hardy. That didn't work. Pac-Man Jones, that didn't work. Like, all these experiments really didn't work. Now, granted, you can always toss in the Charles Haley, but that was years ago under Jimmy Johnson. So you have to think with the brand new coach like Mike McCarthy, he's starting to, find his voice with this team, get acclimated to this young team, get them on the right path. It seems like everyone's buying in. Bringing someone like Earl Thomas in could really cause a ripple effect in your locker room. Because here's my thing. Granted, Earl Thomas, and I saw my guy Skywalker Steele post this earlier on Twitter. Shouts out to Steele. Is Earl Thomas a top 5 safety still? Absolutely, yes. Without a doubt.
I'm not going to. Last season, yes.
Yeah, I'm not going to downplay. I mean, just a few years ago when he went out of Seattle, I was big on the Earl Thomas train. I wasn't as big on the Earl Thomas thing as I was the Jamal Adams thing. But because
I was the opposite.
Oh, you were bigger for Earl Thomas?
I love Earl, man. I love Earl.
Well, the reason why Jamal Adams is much younger and he's a lot more explosive, I feel, than Earl. But Earl is also more seasoned. But Earl's have injuries, different things like that. So, but yeah, I mean, like I said, if you can get him for a value and also have some protection where you can get out of the contract, yeah. But it really has to be a conversation like Earl, like, why is this? Because I think the reports were much bigger than just the fight. Because I realized if there was just a fight, training camp fight, it happens all the time. There was fights at our training camp. So it really had to be something that led up to that. And I think there was about missing practices and showing up late and skipping out on practices to go get your car washed. And different things like that. So are you really focused on football and not even going to the whole thing he had with his brother? It's like, are you really locked in on football right now? And from my perspective, I'm saying Earl Thomas has been in 2 great player-led locker rooms, when it's with Seattle and then also the Baltimore Ravens. Like, you really can't get better than that. And then coming into Dallas, where, it may be headed that way at Seattle and Baltimore, but we're still trying to create that. Will he really be able to buy into what Mike McCarthy and the staff is saying? So I feel like there has to be a real deep discussion with that. And you guys mentioned Clinton Dix and, Thompson and also Cedric Wilson. Not Cedric Wilson, but Donovan Wilson. Those type of players. Xavier Woods. I'm still high Xavier Woods.
Oh yeah.
For a little bit, but there is some concerns at safety. So if it's up to you, and I think there was talks today, I think Worley played a little bit of safety. I think Reggie Robinson's been playing a little bit of safety, which I personally like. And the reason why I say this is that Reggie Robinson really wasn't going to get the look that he was going to need at cornerback due to our depth. And so I feel like he's a player that he just needs to be on the field. So I think safety gives him the opportunity to actually compete for a job. So what's your guys' thoughts on that? If we don't bring in Earl, who is your candidate?
One of the reasons we did draft Reggie Robinson was because his versatility to play corner and safety. So I'm pretty big on him. He's a lengthy guy. He can play both positions, but he's not seasoned, man. Can you just we're going against some dogs this year. Some teams got we're going against the Browns. We're going against the Falcons. These guys throw the ball around, man. Yeah. They got some receivers out there. And I don't know. I just feel like Earl is the guy to take this defense over the top. Just put him in there.
Oh, yeah.
Let him play with Xavier Woods. Line up Cheeto, Diggs, Jordan Lewis, Anthony Brown. That secondary will be set. Mm-hmm. But if we don't do it, I do like Reggie Robinson and Worley getting looks at the safety position because this defense is all about versatility.
Okay, so I completely agree. I think Earl Thomas is that missing piece that we need in Dallas. Like that type of safety.
Right.
With minuses all his other issues. But I'm going to keep going back to this. And I feel like I say it in every video. And this is why I just can't get on the train of these players is because there's no preseason.
Right.
I can't see them play
Yeah, that's what I say.
to know how to really evaluate them. Like, you're just reading what other people are
Yeah.
seeing and saying and stuff.
Game mode is completely different.
Exactly. So that's why I think I'm more on the Earl Thomas train, is because he is seasoned. He's played games and he's played big name receivers. I mean, we're playing the Falcons. We're playing Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Odell Beckham, I believe, this year.
Yeah.
Like, he's played big name players, and Reggie Robinson and Worley, like, they are just still new to that, especially Reggie Robinson being as a rookie.
Right.
So, I mean, so far, if we had to keep who we had, I mean, I think Reggie Robinson would do amazing, but
he's still young.
And
Worley is seasoned. He played with Carolina and Oakland, but not as a safety.
Right.
He played corner. Right. Now you're making that move, and we've seen what happens when you move somebody like Byron a corner to safety.
Right.
It doesn't always work. And look how talented Byron is.
Right, as a corner.
And then we're trying to move Worley over there. So we really don't want to go into this season, man, and go against these big name receivers and they're getting bombed left to right, and we're saying, oh man, we should have done this, we should have done that. Right. I mean, I think Earl, listen, in Seattle, Earl, his teammates said you never really heard him talk.
Right.
So where all this is coming from now in Baltimore, I'm kind of lost, because you never heard about Earl Thomas off the field issues.
Right.
He was always a big name player, kept quiet, and did his thing on the field. Mm-hmm. Now he's missing camp. Now he's missing practice for taking his car to wash and domestic disputes. So something's going on. The Cowboys are probably doing the research, but I wouldn't completely take Earl out of the picture. I do believe Cowboys will try. I mean, I don't know. I think they might move on. They might try. It's going to be stuck somewhere.
I don't think they're going to, like we talked about just earlier, like, I don't think they're going to jump on the Earl Thomas train right now. They're going to see how he plays in the market. And at some point, when the Ravens take that money away from him, he's going to be desperate.
Jerry's going to reach out. They're going
to be desperate to find somewhere to play, especially if he wants to play football.
This thing could go any way in the next few weeks. Earl Thomas will be on the team before the start of the season.
So you think it'll be before season, or will it be like mid-season kind of pickup?
I think before the season. I think Earl gets picked up in the next week or two.
Yeah.
I would give it at least up to the second.
Because he did say,
depending on.
There is a rumor out there saying that Earl he's chosen a team, and there's another team that wants him, but he's waiting for his first team that he desired to play for to make a decision on him.
Right.
And it's got to be the Cowboys, man. Earl's from Texas. Earl's from Texas. He's always going to be a Cowboy.
Right.
And another thing too, to defend Earl a little bit here, what she was saying, Earl, he always wants to be a Dallas Cowboy. So I believe if he came here, he'd be on his best behavior here, because this is where he wants to be. Plus, he knows that if he blows this chance now as an older veteran with the Cowboys organization, if he messes this up, nobody's gonna want to take him.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing. A lot of people say Earl Thomas wants to be a Dallas Cowboy, but I always question how bad, though, because he mentioned there's other.
He wants it bad.
But
man.
there's other.
I mean, he came into our locker room.
Right.
NFL player chases your head coach.
I agree.
And comes into your locker room and says, "Hey, come get me if you get a chance."
Exactly.
This guy wants to be here.
Exactly.
I don't think he thought that through, because remember, he went to
the
Ravens.
He did.
No,
Earl wants to be a Cowboy.
Not that. I'm talking about this Ravens thing, because I think he went to the Ravens for money.
Right.
He got a huge contract.
Yeah, he went for the contract. So I mean, this could be just shooting out all the way out there, but maybe he's purposely kind of creating this thing so that they'd have to release him. So he gets his money, and then maybe Cowboys will pick him up, because remember, Cowboys weren't going to give up so much for Earl Thomas.
Right.
No way.
We weren't going to. So he wanted a contract and he wanted money, but he also wanted to play for the Cowboys. So maybe in his mind, he thinks this is like the best of both worlds. Okay, I got my money from the Ravens. Let me kind of mess it up.
Right.
So I can, get out. And the Cowboys will be like, oh, shoot, let's get you. Like,
you got to think.
I'm thinking way outside the box.
I think know.
Like,
but that's the rumor, that there may have been some seeds kind of planted, because, like you said, Jonathan, like, a lot of this kind of came out of nowhere. It's just like,
we made some cap space, right? What,
right, with Tyron Smith.
Sudden,
we restructured Tyron's contract, and then all of a sudden, Earl Thomas is acting up, and so I don't know. I doubt the Cowboys would go that length to get him.
Mm-hmm.
But my question,
I'm stuck in between, bro.
Yeah, I would say I don't see it happening, just because of everything going on. Because here's my question with Earl Thomas. When it comes to how bad do you want to be a Cowboy, if we were to come, and you know how Stephen Jones is with these low ball offers, if he's going to come with a low offer, is Earl Thomas going to be like, oh, hell no, you guys are trying to play me now? Like, I'm going to San Fran, or I'm going, wherever else who's going to offer me some money, at least a value, because the Cowboys are going to come with a low ball offer.
But and that's the thing. The market isn't there for Earl. San Francisco already came out and said no, they don't need him. That they've got their own guys. But there's some rumors now saying the Giants might pursue him. So the market's gonna be there. I'm sticking to my point where I think Earl gets signed within the next 2 weeks. Right. He's gonna be on a football team, and I hope he's wearing a star on the side of his helmet, man. Because if he is, I'll tell you this right now: the NFL is in trouble.
Oh yeah,
that defense is gonna be something really serious.
It changes a lot if we are able to get Earl Thomas, a happy, productive, focused Earl Thomas.
Yes.
Watch out. I feel like if honestly, and people I said this on Twitter, and people are like, "What, Tucker tripping?" If we get Earl Thomas, our defense is now the face of this team, not the offense.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, absolutely.
That defense will be headhunting. I mean, Everson Griffin, D-Law, Van Der Esch, Jalen Smith, we got guys all over the place.
Earl Thomas, Diggs, and like all those. Like, man, this team could get like crazy ASAP. So hit me up in the chat, man. Let's actually get to the chat. So I see the chat is on fire right now. But do you guys feel like we're gonna get Earl Thomas? Let's see what's going on. Shouts out to my guy, the Lunatic. He said, "Cry." She goes, "Cry." They had to dive deep into numbers to try to prove how a fourth rounder keeps beating the second overall pick. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. When I was sitting on that show. And shouts out to those guys, Philly Notion, and like everyone. We had a great time on that show. It was a blast. The Eagles fans were actually kind of cool. I wasn't expecting that. But when he brought out all these random stats to prove why Dak isn't a better quarterback than Carson Wentz, I was just like, where are we going? So you know Dak Prescott is only 8-13 when he wears black socks, and it was like, where are we going? Like, where are we going with this? But I feel like that's what you have to do. I mean, as a fan, you defend your guy. It is what it is. I definitely understand. So shouts out to the Lunatic. Eagles season. He's in the chat, man. Appreciate your support, even as an Eagles fan.
Eagles fan. Okay.
Eagles fan. Yeah, he's some support, man. Studwood Cowboy, my guy. Here we go. What's up, fam? My guy Tony said, "What's up, big homie? What's up, bro?" Sid, my guy, Sid's in the house. He said, "What's up, Jay Tuck and SoFlo, man? That's my guy, my partner in crime." Cowboy X Factor. Hey there, Dallas Cowboys for life. Oh. That collab we did the other day was great. Appreciate it. Radiohead. What was the score when he beat you, though? Do you remember the score when he beat me in Madden? I mean, it wasn't. I didn't get dog. No, he didn't dog walk me like I dog walked Sid.
That first game, I think. But Jay Tuck can play. We're gonna be getting it this season in the 20.
Yeah.
20. Yep.
And if you watched the channel the other day when I had my guy Nick on from The Boys. He was talking about how the PlayStation controller is horrible compared to the X. So I wasn't just making excuses. He said all the pro games are on Xbox. Everyone plays on Xbox. Everyone knows that. But it's okay, man. I'm adapting. Let's see. My guy Sid said he is not coming. Ain't happening.
Oh, come on, Sid.
Sid is not a player hater, man. Sid's a hater when it. Sid is a hater. Sid is a hater when it comes to having a safety, man. He was no Jamal Adams. He is no to Earl Thomas.
Look, man, I just don't want to be here week 4, week 5, where we're like, wish we had Jeff Heath.
Yeah. Oh man, we need Jeff Heath back.
Listen, at least Jeff Heath was a little aggressive. I mean, he blindsided people. So
a lot of people
was a little aggressive.
A lot of people had issues with Jeff Heath. I really didn't have issues with Jeff Heath because I said no matter what, is he the most athletic guy? No. But at the end of the day, you can always trust that Jeff Heath is given 100%.
For some reason, he was always around the ball.
And I'll take that. Give me effort. Okay, granted, you're not going to be able to run a 4.2 and all. I get that. But Jeff Heath was always going to give 100% effort. And there were some games where Jeff showed up. He played big.
Good backup kicker, too, if you guys remember.
Yeah, right. Backup kicker, right.
He was like consistently inconsistent.
Right.
That's the thing. But at least you knew what you got with Jeff Heath. Like some days he would, like you said, he would show up and he would make that interception when you needed it or did some play, and then sometimes he would just do something stupid. But at least he was consistent.
Right.
We need a safety, Sid. We need a safety.
We do need a safety. I'm more of the focus of drafting a safety. But I feel like that doesn't happen in Dallas. And luckily, knock on wood, that we didn't do it this year because the two guys that were high on our draft board at the safety position have gone down with injuries and possibly are out for the rest of the season.
We messed that up, Jay. We messed that up last season. We had Thornhill there.
Yeah, we had Juan Thornhill.
Oh my gosh, what a player, man!
Yeah, and I have to sit here in Kansas City and watch them have Tyrann Mathieu and Juan Thornhill. I'm like, you greedy.
Hey,
we've undervalued that safety position for a while, man, and that's what I'm saying. Somebody like Earl's on there, man. We've got to go get it.
Didn't we have the option of getting the Honey Badger too?
Yes, we did.
Yep. We could have drafted him. We skipped him in the draft, and he was a free agent last year.
No, and even as a free agent.
And even as a free agent. Yep. The Cowboys have undervalued that safety position for years, and we've got to address it, man. I'm just worried that we take Reggie Robinson or Worley or Clinton Dix is not having a good camp, bro.
Yeah,
I think today he finally made a play. First, he made a pick or something today.
Right. Yeah, and going back to what you said, we're having to kind of get the camp feed through tweets, and so far, like everyone has done just amazing just through these tweets. Like no one's having a bad camp except Clinton Dix. Like that's the only one. The only tweets I'm seeing is like, Clinton Dix.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I was high on him. I was like, oh man, we got us a safety now when we first signed him because I was like, oh, he had a great rookie season under McCarthy.
Yeah.
I think we were excited because we thought at least we can get a good solid 2, 3, maybe about 2 years out of him till we drafted and developed something.
If I can remember, I think last year he played for the Redskins, correct? Clinton Dix played for the Redskins last year, was it?
I think so.
I think he was a Redskins last year. Yeah. He had an okay season.
You mean Washington team?
Oh yeah, Washington.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Sorry. I'm a Cowboys fan. They'll always be Redskins. But yeah, well, I'm worried about the position, so hopefully we get Earl, man. That's I hope.
Yeah, we hope. Let's see. Shouts to my guy Jeff. He said the longer the wait, the more I'm starting to doubt we sign him. Yeah, that could be a possibility.
Yeah.
Shouts out to my guy Carlito Montana. He says, "What's up, everybody?"
What's going on, man?
Shouts out to my guy Nick's in the house. He says, "Sign Logan Ryan." He says, "Sign Logan." Yeah, I'm sure. I don't understand why Logan Ryan hasn't been added to a team as well. But I feel like Logan Ryan will give us depth not only at the cornerback position but possibly safety. He can play a little bit of dual. So I would be more for a Logan Ryan at the right price versus Earl Thomas with all of this chaos. Like before I really jump back on the Earl Thomas train, before I jump back on the Earl Thomas train and get ran over by it again, I really need to see because I got ran. I've been hit twice. I've been hit like 3 times. Well, actually 4 times.
Yeah. I know you got hurt with the Jamal Adams.
I've been hit by the Ramsey train, the Derwin James train. I've been hit by the Earl Thomas train, and I've been hit by the Earl Thomas train and Jamal Adams. So I'm kind of cool on safety. I've learned my lesson, but I would really like to see Earl Thomas come out and speak and explain what the hell's going on right now.
Right.
Before, I need to see it. Like, what was the reason why you went out of Baltimore? Because you mentioned the Giants are showing interest. Okay, so would you rather be a New York Giant or a Baltimore Raven right now? Like, you know, so
right. I just feel like players have come out. Yeah. Players that have played with Earl, and they said he was just a quiet guy in the locker room.
Right.
Something is going on in Earl's life right now.
Something's going on, but also to the point of course we want Earl Thomas, but then now I kind of also think about it. This is Mike McCarthy's first year.
Right.
You really want to throw that wrench in there, and he needs to get a hold of his team first.
Right.
That's what I said.
I could say a year or 2 into Mike McCarthy's reign, and then he could be one Earl Thomas. At least he could have that little threshold room. Yeah, he has a locker room behind him.
And again, we come back to Mike McCarthy and what he said at a press conference. He was like, he likes his locker room a certain way, and then you're like, oh man. And he knows. And I think I don't know if the GM or somebody over there in Baltimore, Mike McCarthy's very close with him. Right. So he made a call and had to ask about him what was going on.
Yeah, I'm sure the Cowboys are taking a look and kind of seeing in the interest, but we shall see. I feel like right now it's the perfect time because we know Jerry is definitely going to stay away from all the cameras and all the radio interviews right now. So you might just try to do something, make a big splash. Let's see. Studwood Cowboy says might as well go get Big James Guest. Matt Johnson out of retirement. He wants to stay healthy in the position. Possibly, man. My guy Nick's talking about Xbox on Madden is better than PlayStation. Look, guys, there's a
get out that Xbox.
There's an Xbox right here. There's an Xbox right here.
Get off.
But I had to make the switch.
So wait, are you gonna get that PS5?
Yeah, I'm getting the PS5. That's why I made the switch. That's why I made the switch. So I was like,
you gotta make it, man.
Yeah, all right. So shouts out to the chat, man. Keep those questions coming, man. But I want to transition. We've been speaking about camp, so I want to kind of get your guys' idea on camp. What's your thoughts and who you're looking forward to seeing? So Tell me a little bit about who do you guys have your eye on in camp? What's the few guys that you're really pulling for that would kind of be off the radar from our typical starters under the Garrett era, we would say?
Um, my guy for camp is Diggs.
Okay.
I've been high on Diggs since he came in. I still believe I talked to a couple of Cowboy fans on Twitter the other day, and I told them I believe Diggs is going to start. And it looks like every day in camp, Diggs is stepping up. He's stepping up.
So you mean start out the gate week 1?
I think he's going to start week 1. Yes.
Okay.
I think Diggs will start week 1 against the Rams. I think he's just going to keep getting better every day. Okay. And he'll eventually start. I'm hearing good things about Anai, the defensive end.
Okay.
Bradley.
Yeah.
I like him. Yeah, that's who that's my pet cat is Diggs. That's a guy that I'm really looking at in camp, and I'm hoping that in week 1 he'll start. I believe he will.
I believe Diggs is going to start. I mean, I knew he was going to be great. I mean, he was a first round grade that went to a second round picks. But I'm kind of looking forward more to the defensive line, like Neville Gallimore, Bradley, and I just kind of like. I'm more intrigued on how we're gonna play this defensive line, like 3-4, 4-3. Like there was so much like change, like
different looks.
Like who was it? We were talking about this on Sunday. Aldon Smith,
Everson Griffin,
Demarcus Lawrence, Everson Griffin. So like I think that's what I'm excited about, and that's what I keep an eye on, like who's doing well. And I mean, the loss of Gerald McCoy was tough, but at least he mentored some of the guys prior to leaving.
Another thing that Jay, that we're talking about camp, I'm a little worried about that offensive line, man. We're a little banged up right now, and there's some guys having to step up in there. And if this happens during the season, man, I don't really know what's gonna happen.
I tell people because like we've been on numerous camp and roster breakdown shows. We've talked about this to the depths, and it wasn't until I was on Big Game James, talked to my guy Big Game James, where he really spoke out about the tackle position, and I'm just like, oh my God, we do not have an insurance policy for tackle position.
Cam Fleming is our swing
tackle. Fleming. And so I'm just like, yikes, because there's a lot of rumors about Lyle Collins, hit with his, not coming to camp in shape, and nagging injuries, Tyron Smith. So if they go out, and you also have to add on the fact that Joe Looney really isn't as solid. I mean, he's a great guy. Joe Looney's a great guy, great person. I met Joe Looney. He's one of those type of people you would just love to just go hang out with. But as far as that center position, and then you take away Lyle Collins and Tyron Smith, yikes. And so that definitely is an area that we need to focus on. So
that offensive line.
Yeah, and so that money that we freed up with Tyron, I think we really need to address the depth at that tackle position like ASAP. I haven't really did much research on seeing who's out there or any moves that we can make, but that's something to definitely keep our eye on, because I was more focused on the defensive side of the ball, the secondary, and also the depth with the linebacker position. But man, if one of those tackles or both of them have any nagging injuries throughout the season, it could be bad, because we've seen how
we've been spoiled, bro. We've been spoiled with that offensive line for years.
Yeah.
I looked at it today, and I was reading through the Twitter feeds of the people reporting in camp, and they were talking about the offensive line. They started saying the guys' names without Lyle Collins and Tyron Smith in there, and I was like, oh man,
right.
And this is a position we didn't really
just get carted away too.
Yeah, one of our tackles went down today.
Yeah,
and they said that our defense pretty much just ate up those second string tackles, and it's like,
listen, we don't want another what was his name from UF that went down against Atlanta and gave up 6 sacks? What was it,
a record?
I
don't know his name, but I just
remember that game we played Atlanta and he's from UF.
Yeah, I can see his face.
Me too, man. But
God, I could just see Dak getting killed.
Anybody in the chat knows his name? No, we just don't want that happening.
I remember that game because I went
Chaz
Green. Yeah, yes. I went to the Florida State Clemson game, and I was going to go to the Atlanta because Clemson is near Atlanta, and luckily I didn't go. So I was sitting there at the bar watching this game, and I'm just like, what the hell is happening? Like, I forgot the guy that we gave up all those sacks to, but I don't think he's even in the NFL anymore.
Wow, he played for the Falcons tonight. He signed a big contract. We got him a big contract.
Yeah, he got a big contract, and then he was released, I think, after that.
But that's another concern that we haven't really thought about.
Like you said, we're spoiled with the offensive line and having everybody there and healthy. And the only issue we had was Travis Frederick, but Joe Looney played decent. Mm-hmm. But nobody thinks about it. Tyron Smith is getting old,
and he's getting injury prone, man. There was a time there where Tyron was playing almost every game, and you could see it taking toll on him now.
He's getting old, and it's just we got to start eventually thinking about that too.
Yeah, that's safety, and I would say left tackle or two needs we need to address ASAP.
We go down during the season with an offensive lineman. Somebody goes down, we might be in some stuff, man.
Yeah, exactly.
And Tyron Smith is not an easy replacement. Like,
no,
not Tyron.
Not gonna find
one of the top 5 tackles in the game.
Yeah, because I know my guy Nix has been saying, constantly that Connor Williams is not a guard; he's a tackle. But he's
I think so too.
But he's no Lyle Collins, and he's definitely no Tyron Smith. So there's going to be a huge fall off.
I really like Colin McGovern from Penn State. He was very versatile in college. He played center and guard. So we got to keep an eye on him. Like, he missed the entire year last year as a rookie, but I think he'll get better with more reps. I really like him.
So game 1 versus the Rams, who do you think the starting O-line will be, give or take? Do you think it'll be McGovern or will it be Connor Williams?
It'll be Connor Williams.
I think it'll be Connor Williams because of the fact that, like, I'm going to say it again, where there's no preseason.
Right.
So you can't evaluate him. You're going against starters.
You're going against Aaron Donald.
You're going against
Oh my God. I'm not throwing Connor McGovern in there yet.
You're gonna have your experienced guy first.
Right.
Yeah. I believe it'll be what? It'll be Tyron.
You're gonna have Tyron.
Connor Williams. Joe Looney.
Doug Martin. What do I call him?
Your right guard. Yeah. Zach Martin.
Why do I keep calling him Doug Martin?
Oh my God.
That's what I was like. It didn't sound right. That's why I kept looking at you. I'm like, why does it not sound right?
Who the hell is Doug?
Wasn't Doug Martin the running back for the Bucks? Yeah, the ham.
I know. Where did his name go?
But then, we'll have Lil Collins at right tackle. That's how the offensive line will be. I mean,
forgive me.
What we're used to, I think our normal guys will be starting the season just because at that guard position we can't really evaluate that in preseason. Where I think McGovern could have had a solid shot at beating out Connor Williams.
Right.
And you have the guy at center too.
I hope Connor Williams built his strength because he's gonna have a battle down there with Aaron Donald.
And you have the center
Hey, welcome to the league. I know you haven't played any NFL games, but here's Aaron Donald. Go have at it, kid.
Good luck, man. The best defensive player in the league.
Right.
Dak is like,
This is where we want Travis Frederick just to come back for one.
Yeah, it's kind
of come back one game.
I was disappointed when he did that, but that disease that he went through, or that hurt him last year. You could tell he wasn't the same player, man.
I mean, because even though he had a solid season last year and made the Pro Bowl, I also feel like the COVID situation probably played in a lot in that decision. Just having that disease, traveling. Yeah, I think it was.
As a fan, you gotta respect that.
Yeah, you have to respect
it. That's his health.
You have to respect it. You have to respect it. Shouts out to my Cowboys family in the chat, man.
Hey.
What's up? Let's see. That's great to hear. What did Sid just say? Sid had Sid had something in the chat.
Saying?
He said, "But I heard Dix is not developing as much as Cowboys would like to have seen the tweets about the situation.
Yeah.
I would love for Dix to be the guy, but they're not sure. Yeah, I don't know about Clinton Dix, man. I just don't.
No, I don't.
I don't feel like there's really that tie to him. And if he's not having a great camp and someone else is stepping up, he's one of those people who are replaceable. Like,
I don't know what the cap. I don't even know if he'd get hit with a cap. If we cut him, was he on a 1-year deal?
Yeah, he's a 1-year deal anyway.
So yeah, he could be a cap. He could be cut. He could be a cap. I don't know. Listen, if you're splitting starting reps with Darian Thompson,
right?
No disrespect to the man. No disrespect to him. He could play. I mean, he's a good special teamer. He can come in and play. I mean, I think one game against the Bears, he had 11 tackles when he had to come in and play last season. But still, man, are you able to run down the field with Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley?
Yeah.
I mean, but we'll see.
Yeah. I don't think we go with Thompson out the gate. I think if anyone does come out the gate, it probably would be Clinton Dix he's going to be kind of like that bridge player. I think that's where him and Joe Looney really come into play. It's kind of a bridge until we can find that second option.
Exactly. The veteran, yes.
People you can trust. And so, so we spoke about the O-line in depth. Running backs good. Wide receivers the fun position. But let me get your guys' thoughts on the fourth wide receiver. Are you guys a Cedric Wilson guy? Or do you think more Devin Smith? What are your thoughts? John V. Johnson.
Cedric Wilson.
I'm a big fan of Devin Smith.
Okay.
You're a big fan.
I really like Devin Smith with Ohio State.
I'm a Devin Smith guy too.
He got hurt, banged up, I believe he could be really good, man. We saw it against Washington last year. That bomb that Dak threw out to him. He's got speed and he can play, man. But
Cedric Wilson.
Cedric Wilson is just killing him. I'm hearing.
Yeah. He's having a good camp, and I mean Devin Smith's good.
And Noah Brown too. So
one of them's gone. Devin Smith or Noah Brown. Because it's going to be 5.
I know Brown's a good blocking receiver. He can block.
Yeah, it really comes down between those two. I think it's going to be released, to be honest with you.
We already know Cedric Wilson's going to be 4th. It's going to be Devin Smith, Noah Brown.
Yeah.
Cedric Wilson's having a good camp, man. Actually, a great camp. I heard he's making big plays, and plus we use the draft pick on him, So usually when you do that, you want to keep those guys around,
And plus, he's a special teamer, so he's one of those guys, kind of a utility guy.
Because that's another thing too. I love Devin, but you brought it up. Does he play special teams? I don't.
Yeah, he's really a speed guy, speed demon guy, but he had some injuries. But I think the thing when it comes to Devin Smith, because I'm a Devin Smith guy as well, he's shown us that capability, so you want to kind of see more. But like I said, with CeeDee Lamb now added, Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, we really just need that reliable 4th receiver. And I feel like Cedric Wilson give us that. He'll be able to just do multiple looks and give us.
Knock on wood. Listen, an injury, right? These things happen. These guys are playing out there out wide. They get their ankles rolled up or something might happen. Knock on wood that we make it through the season healthy. But people underestimate how important that 4th receiver is.
Right.
Because they have to come in usually and play like maybe 2-3 games a year. So it's a very important position that people undervalue, that 4th receiver.
Or like the Eagles fan told us on the show the other night, if all 3 of your receivers go down, you guys are in trouble. Well,
yeah. No more. I don't want to see them back on the show, man. Get them out of here. I'm out of here, man. You're talking to Eagles fans. I'm out of here.
No, let's talk about we don't have 3 receivers. We have a lot more. You still have Zeke. You still have Blake Jarwin.
Pollard, right?
Pollard. You have Schultz.
Schultz, I heard, is doing good too.
Dalton Schultz. Yeah.
We have more than 3 receivers.
We've got enough weapons, but that 4th receiver, I think, goes to Cedric Wilson.
I think so too. And I think Devin Street will do amazing on a team when he has more reps.
But we usually keep 5, right? And one and we take 4 on the active roster.
Right.
So yeah, Cedric Wilson. I got Cedric Wilson as that 4th. How about you, Jay?
Yeah, I would go with Wilson at the 4th. Like I said, he's just more reliable. You can trust. You know what he can do. Plus, he's a special team guy. So I think, like I said, for the 4th receiver, you really don't need much flash because we have enough of that. Just someone who can be able to play the underneath game. He's a good blocker, so you can use Cedric Wilson in multiple different looks. I think that he gets that nod for the 4th. Let's see here. What's going on in the chat? Big shout out to Philly Notion and Steve, man. They were great. Yeah, great guys, man. They were great guys, man. They had to reach a little bit, though. I mean, it happened.
Family, I see you guys in the chat.
Yeah, they had to reach a little bit, man. So you mentioned the tight end position. We know what Jarwin's going to be. There's been talks about Dalton Schultz. Haven't heard much about Blake Bell. Haven't seen many tweets about Blake Bell. So what is your expectations at that position? Do you think we're going to run a lot of dual tight end sets, or do you think it's going to be just 11 formation? I saw when Jarwin had his conversation with the training camp and did his interview, he mentioned that Mike McCarthy is starting to lump in the tight ends with the fullback. So maybe you're going to get more tight end fullback looks out of the backfield. I think Mike McCarthy's using my Madden playbook. But it's
I think that's where Bell's going to take that's where we're going to use him. Is because now we have Alawale out. He's opted out of the season.
Right.
And I think that's where Bell's going to be useful.
Wait, did I miss that? Alawale opted out?
Yeah, he opted out.
Wow.
For COVID.
That's
that's where Bell's going to take.
Yeah, so now it's going to be Suwu. Siwu, the running back.
Okay. Yeah, we brought in Bell as a blocking tight end from Kansas City, so I believe that's going to be his duties.
Yeah.
But to me, I think Jarwin's making the Pro Bowl to me, man.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have a huge year. I mean, these receivers are going to open stuff up in the middle for him, and Dak loves Jarwin. All he does is catch touchdowns from Dak, right? That's all he does.
Since we've gotten, he's always improved every year. And then I just believe when we got Jason Witten back, I think that just kind of hindered his progression, I would say. His progression. And now that Witten's gone, now that he's pretty much number 1, and now you have a different coach with Mike McCarthy, I think he's just going to excel this year.
Blake's a big guy that can run.
Right.
A good target for Dak, and like I said, these receivers now are going to open up the middle of the field. Jarwin's going to be all over the place for Dak to hit, and I got high expectations for Blake Jarwin this year at the tight end position.
You and me both, John, because like I said, the reason why I couldn't get on the 3,000-yard wide receiver train is because Blake Jarwin's going to take a lot of those catches away from one of those receivers, and so that's why I feel like I expect a big season from Blake Jarwin. I actually just did my fantasy league, my keepers, and I had to turn in my two guys. And I had Blake Jarwin last year, and I was like, man, am I going to be able to come back and swoop him? But I had Travis Kelce, though. Let's see here. Shout out to my guy Roberto, man. He says, I think Pollard should be used more, even in receiving the ball. I think tweets from camp today. There was a lot of mentions of dual running backs. So there was a lot of opportunities and different looks where Zeke and Pollard were on the field together, which I definitely like because you can use Pollard in different situations. You could
motion him out the backfield.
Yeah, you can motion him out the backfield, different looks. So I'm excited about that. Like I said, Mike McCarthy has been using my Madden playbook. Maybe he's going to use a little pistol action with both of them. But I think I think Pollard's going to be a guy that's going to take a leap as well this season, statistically wise, because I think he's going to get more opportunities and it's going to preserve Zeke's longevity, so that we're not just ramming him the ball 30 times a game, and then by the time we get to the playoffs, he's tired and beaten.
I completely agree. I feel like Pollard was underutilized a lot last year.
Jay, let me ask you this question.
Okay.
Do you believe, right, with all these weapons that I have, do you think Zeke takes a step back this year?
I don't.
Do you think he still puts up that much, yardage? Or does he does he get that many carries as previous years?
I don't think Zeke has the stat lines as we're accustomed to.
Yeah.
Which of course big media will run with that as he's taking a fall off. I think we're going to use Zeke in key opportunities, and so you'll see Zeke flourish in certain games. But there's going to be some games we're not really going to need Zeke. I mean, if you have Dak, you have Pollard, you have Gallup, you have all these weapons we mentioned. I mean, do we really need to run the ball 30 times now? And I feel like Mike McCarthy's mentality won't be the Jason Garrett mentality. I feel like we won't get up by 7 and Mike McCarthy caves in like, okay, well, let's just feed Zeke and let's get out the game. I feel like, no, we're up by 7. We're about to go up by 14. And then now we're about to go up by 21. Exactly. We're going to stay on the attack. So I feel like Zeke's going to take a leap forward as a player. Like I said, statistically wise, there'll be a lot of people downplaying Zeke. Like, oh, he only had 1,000 yards. You know how people are when it comes to Zeke. But I feel like he's going to be used in so many different opportunities that you'll definitely see Zeke taking advantage of at the right time in the right moments.
Yep, that's exactly how I feel.
And he's working on his receiving game, so I feel
like you said, Jay. Like the stat sheet won't show it, but he's going to be utilized in certain ways.
Right.
But I just think now that this offense is turning to a vertical attack offense, man.
Right.
I mean, Kellen Moore, you can see last year when we opened up against the Giants, he was just throwing the ball left and right. And now we've got more weapons to use. I think we're going to be like more of a vertical team, but hey, that opens up stuff for Zeke also. But I don't think he'll have stat-wise what he's done before in the previous years.
Yeah, because there'll be that game where, hey, maybe our wide receivers are getting clamped up, and then that's where we're going to have to roll up our sleeves and let Zeke eat. I think Zeke's biggest impact will be in the postseason, to be honest with you. I think that's
everybody's tired.
Yeah, everyone's tired. We've worn teams down, and now here comes Zeke. Hopefully the offensive line is still intact, and that's where you'll kind of see that traditional style that we were accustomed to. But I think out the gate, we're going to try to air it out. And I thought about this, because everyone knows I'm a Ramsey guy, but it's like, I'm kind of thinking I want the very first game of the week, I want Jalen Ramsey to say, you know what? I've heard enough of this CeeDee Lamb talk.
Oh,
I got you, bro. Out the gate. Because I feel like if CeeDee Lamb can come out that first game and get past Jalen Ramsey, it's all uphill from there.
It's over.
It's all uphill from there. So Jalen, if you watching the show,
we're gonna shoot this video.
Yeah, go ahead, take that matchup. I want to see Jalen Ramsey all up in CeeDee Lamb's grill week 1. And then I want to see CeeDee Lamb, get it in, because I think that's going to be the way that he's going to be able to cut his teeth. Because remember, Zeke's welcome to the NFL was against the Seahawks, and he had that big run against Cam Chancellor, and you're like, all right. So I feel like that's probably going to be the take. So that's what I'm hoping for.
That'll be fun, man.
Let's see, my guy Studwood Cowboys said Blake Bell is more of for blocking purposes, could be used as fullback. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. And there's also there was mentions, I forgot who tweeted that there was a lot of trick plays that was at training camp today. It's a lot of trick plays, and people forget. Like I said, I watched Blake Bell since high school. He was a quarterback. He went to OU as a quarterback, and so there might be different looks where he could kind of be like a Taysom Hill ordeal and throw the ball because he's a big guy, and he's an arm on him. So I don't know. There's going to be different looks.
I didn't know that about him.
Yeah, the Belldozer was a quarter. Yeah, he was a quarterback. So quarterback moved tight end. So he was very Tebow-ish. So Blake,
Wow.
I tell people Blake Bell did what Tebow should have did. Like everyone's like, no, you're not a quarterback. You can be a tight end or a fullback. He's like, I just want to play football, so I'll do that. And
Nice.
now he's a Super Bowl champion. How many tight ends we keep in Schultz making little noise? I think we keep all three.
Yeah,
I don't. I think we'll keep three at the death position. Like I said, different looks. There.
Zeke put up. The word is versatility.
Versatility. That's something new. Word. That's something new in Dallas. Versatility, different look. When we come out week 1 against the Rams and we throw on first down, we're like, what the hell? Like what? What did we just throw?
No more that I form every day. Yeah, play 30 inches.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very different for me because we've mentioned on our channel and other channels, I am Cowboys fan by marriage. So I've all been watching them since 2007, the 2008 season. So all I really know is like Boyer, Wade Phillips, and all Jason Garrett.
Right.
So this is gonna be completely different.
Like so
when he gets mad, he's like, no, the Cowboys team could be better. And I'm like, well, this is what it's been like for the past 10 years.
It's
like,
all you know.
All it is. Like, why are you mad?
No clue how I used to be.
I'm like, why are you mad? You know this. This is what's going to happen every game. And because obviously he's watched since Troy Aikman years.
I grew up in the greatest time ever to be a Cowboys fan.
So everyone in the chat, this is what I'm thinking. Probably next Thursday, we're going to do a Throwback Thursday show, and we're going to watch some classic Cowboys games. I feel like a lot of people in your case don't know what things were like. And I tell people, like, you know how Patriot fans just like, making the playoffs is just like, that's how we used to be. Like, we just didn't care about the regular season. The season didn't start until the playoffs start.
Until we saw the 49ers,
yeah, right? Until we start the 49ers, that's when things really got serious. And, like, you just never really expected, to be this huge gap from back then, from those glory days, but we'll be back.
This Jason Garrett era just disappointing, man.
Yeah.
Jerry should be ashamed of he wasted. How old is Jerry Jones? What
81?
80 or something? He wasted 10 good years. What was a decade yet? He wasted
a decade.
Listen, we had some good teams that could have gone far with a really good coach, man. And I still believe Jason Garrett was great with his players. He was a great a motivator, but just game management and stuff like that. He just was not a head coach.
Can you imagine the 2014 season with a different coach?
Yeah. Just catch that ball,
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Jason Garrett wasted a lot of talented players. You think about DeMarcus Ware. You think about, Dez Bryant, Jason Witten, Tony Romo. So it's like, it's very unfortunate that we have to sit back and say Eli has gotten his moment numerous times, but not Tony Romo. Like, it really hurts to say that, but I feel like
he had a good coach. Coughlin was a good coach, man.
He had a good coach. So I see that the birds are out chirping in the chat. This is what I was trying to explain to you guys the other night. It really comes to Carson Wentz is to go to the NFC East. Let them birds fly.
Hey, first of all, Carson Wentz didn't even play the Super Bowl.
First of all, I heard Eagles fans once hurt. I heard they want what's the name, Hurst over Wentz now. I heard that's what's going on over there in Philly.
First of all,
and see, here's my thing. Like, even on the show, we had a fun show. I don't pay attention to what the hell goes on in Philly, so I didn't really have any ammo. I don't know, but you know what? But now since I got guys like Philly Notion, I'm gonna check on the channel and see what's really going on, and I'm gonna circle back. Don't worry, when we come back in November, it's gonna be a fun show. So
give the Eagles the week 5 and they start calling for Jalen Hurts to come start.
Oh yeah. I mean, soon as Carson Wentz threw that first interception,
get him in.
Yeah. So Eagles fans, it is whatever. But I appreciate you for joining in, man. I appreciate you joining in. So we spoke about the offensive side of the ball. We mentioned a little bit the defensive line, but let's talk about the linebacker position. Do you guys have concerns there, or are you feeling hopeful? Because I mean, the talent's there on the surface.
I don't think I have any concerns. Van Der Esch is having a good camp too after coming back from his injury. That's what I've been hearing.
I hope Van Der Esch in that neck. He's had a problem since college with that neck.
Right.
I mean, one more injury to that neck, man. Knock on wood. We don't know if he'll be back. I mean, that's a serious thing.
I mean, that's the only concern would be his injury. I mean, as a player,
I love Jalen Smith, but sometimes he runs like he's got weight on that foot.
Yeah,
he has that weird run. I love Jalen to death, but sometimes he just, I don't know. But he looks great in camp.
Yeah.
So we got Mark Lillard backing him up. What's the young kid?
That Francis Bernard.
I've been hearing good things about Francis Bernard. And
him and Mark Lillard are going at it to make the roster. So it's gonna be between them. But linebacker position is another position of depth that's kind of scary, man. Somebody goes down. I mean, Sean Lee's already hurt.
Lee's injury prone.
Dude, like, I love Sean Lee, but, listen, all our 3 linebackers, they've got injury concerns.
Right.
I feel like we have, like, not bad luck, but just not cursed. But, like, if you think about it, our linebackers, like, Sean Lee always gets hurt. Yeah, then you draft his replacement in LVE, and then he has, like, health issues. And you have Jalen Smith, that's such a good player.
Right.
And then he has health issues. It's just, like, I don't know.
I love Jalen Smith. And I think this year he'll have a great season. I mean, we paid him some money last year, but there were some times. I mean, if you watch Jalen sometimes and you want him to hit that gap, he's just so hesitant. But hey, that leads back to that injury. He's playing at still 100%. He's still trying to work his way back from that. I mean, maybe it's been a couple of years. I mean, that is a traumatizing injury. That was something serious he had to work himself back from. But yeah, linebacker depth concerns me. The same as offensive line. But if those 3 guys can stay healthy, we can have one of the best linebacking corps in the NFL because all 3 of those guys can play.
Exactly. I'm not one of those Cowboys fans who are ready to toss not Jason Witten, but Sean Lee into the Jason Witten category because even though he's older, he can still play. He can still produce when he's healthy. But as you mentioned, injury has always been a concern when it comes to the Cowboys, and I hated that it was always hamstrings. Like I feel like when it comes to hamstrings, it's hamstrings, but you never hear about just hamstring after hamstring. Terrence Newman hamstring, Sean Lee hamstrings. Like, what is it with your hamstrings? Like, my goodness, do more squats. Get your squats up. I'm not going to say this. I tell people, I tell people this. Like, so I went to the Star in Frisco. If you haven't been to the Star in Frisco and took the tour, every Cowboys fan,
it's amazing.
And so I'm walking through, and they're like kind of taking us through. And this is when they were training for I think they had a game that week. And there's like the weight room, and you can look inside the weight room, but I don't think they can see us, but we can see them. And Sean Lee had about 5 plates on the squat rack, and he's like looking in the mirror. It's kind of like we're at the zoo or something. It's kind of weird. But
I know that mirror. Yes,
yeah, and he was just putting up massive weight on that squat rack. Like there's some savages. Like I'm a fan of weird stuff like that. Like I love watching NFL players work out. Like I watch Aaron Donald's YouTube and watch him like load up like 6 plates and hit the bench.
Yeah,
and
he's a beast.
Yeah, I just like stuff like that. But man, SeanLee is definitely a beast. I'm not gonna say he needs to hit his squat game up. Maybe he needs to stretch more, do some yoga or something like that, man.
He gotta do some yoga, man. Put some yoga music on, let him stretch, do something, man.
That Tom Brady workout.
Hey, I believe if Sean Lee would have stayed healthy, his career, he could have been a Hall of Famer.
Yep.
I mean, Sean was a beast in his prime, healthy.
Yeah.
He was reading quarterbacks, playing in that zone coverage, just picking guys off.
His football knowledge alone.
He could run side to side. He's a great tackler.
Yeah.
I mean, remember that game when DeMarco Murray came back, when we played against Philly,
I was there.
Murray, that first game, and Sean Lee was all over the field.
Right.
In that game.
Sean Lee's gonna make a hell of an NFL coach one day, guaranteed.
Great coach. I saw. I think it was All or Nothing on.
Yeah, that's what I said. The same on Amazon.
He was in that room. He was in that room coaching the players up, and I was like, wow, Sean Lee would be a great coach, and I hope it's with the Cowboys. Yeah, because there was a scene in All or Nothing. And if you haven't seen All or Nothing, definitely watch that on Amazon. But there's a scene when the season was over that year, everyone's cleaning out the locker and leaving, and the whole lights go black, and there's like one room with a light on it, and it's Sean Lee. He's in there watching film. Yeah, I love Sean
and I was
Lee.
I love that guy, man. I'm still mad I gave up my autograph for that kid, but it's
hey man, you got that Zeke autograph back there, right?
Yeah. I got a few, man, but I wanted that Sean Lee, man, but I gave it up for the kids. So
just saying, if Sean Lee can stay healthy, dude, we'll be set at linebacker position if he can stay healthy.
Yeah, so
all 3 of them can stay healthy.
Yeah, yes. And I think when it comes to Jalen, as you mentioned, he was all over the place. I think him moving to the outside linebacker position is going to give him the opportunity to play freely. Like, you don't have to do as much thinking, and you're not going to have those big guys coming up you, because, of course, our D-line wasn't able to keep the linebackers clean last year. So a lot of those offensive linemen were getting to the second level, and Jalen was getting muddied up with those guys. But I feel like if we're really going to play a 3-4, which it seems like we are. I really don't know. I just have to see it.
Looks like, right?
But but if we are going to play a 3-4, I think Jalen coming off that edge is going to be something to definitely look out for.
Pass rushing.
Yeah, pass rushing, because he did that in college. That's what made him so great. He can come off that edge, and it gives the opportunity for a guy like a Bradley or Nye to maybe play on the opposite end to come off that edge. Alden Smith, those type of players. So I'm excited to see what Mike Nolan and staff really puts together.
Versatility, man. Versatility. The defense is going to be all over the place.
You hear that, Eagles fans? You don't know what's coming.
They're not ready. They're not ready for this.
We know what's coming your way, but we all know it's coming our way.
Ready.
Dak is gone after this year, so how do you feel about the Red Rifle leading the new era of Dallas to the toilet? Well, I mean, you guys won a Super Bowl with the backup, so it shouldn't be that difficult. Let's see here. Let's see what else. Yeah, Miles Austin. Yeah, so yeah, those guys with those hamstrings. So,
hammies.
So you mentioned your Diggs day one starter. So who are your other two starters at that cornerback position? Would you go with?
Okay, well, I'll go with Cheeto. I think Cheeto's having a pretty decent camp. He made a nice pick the other day. He hurt his leg, but he'll be all right. I'll go with Cheeto and Diggs on the outside.
Okay.
And yeah, probably Jordan Lewis in the slot, mixing it up with Anthony Brown.
And
I could definitely see, if we do not get Earl Thomas, I could see them using Worley at safety and corner, both mixing it up. Worley is very underrated on the roster right now.
Right.
I mean, he's pretty down there because would you take him over Anthony Brown? I don't know. Would you start him over Jordan Lewis?
Well, Anthony Brown's been having a decent camp too.
Anthony Brown's having a pretty great camp.
I mean, I don't see Worley.
And we paid him. We paid Anthony Brown too. So
I don't see Worley winning out Anthony Brown.
Somebody's going to be the odd man out, but then again, we talk about versatility. Worley is trying out reps at safety, so we could see him there. But I believe it'll be Diggs, Cheeto, and we'll see Jordan Lewis and Anthony Brown mixing up in the slot.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
No, I agree because I don't think Worley, with like we said, with versatility and with the question mark at safety position, I think Worley's going to be more safety with Reggie Robinson.
There was some talks about a lot of people thought Worley would start opposite of Cheeto, but I just don't. I think Diggs starts. Man.
I think Diggs starts.
I'm one of those guys. I felt like Worley was going to be the bridge until Diggs was able to come on. But if Diggs is having a strong camp like everyone says he is, then maybe they'll. But you also got to understand, man. Diggs comes from an NFL pedigree. He's been out there with his brother, his brother's one of the best in the NFL. So he's going to be ready. He's going to be one of those guys. And so it really comes down to, well, does the Cowboys trust him? When a lot of coaches are evaluating players, and I've been this when I played college football, coach will always say, you're a great player, but Jordan, I just can't trust you. It's like, all right, whatever. But I think and so that's one of those things is like, can they trust? Can you trust Diggs to make the proper read, to not get out there and get emotional and get out of position? And so I think if Diggs can gain that trust in the next few weeks, then maybe he could be the day one starter. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I'm going to say, but eventually he's going to be the guy. I mean, soon. Mm-hmm. I mean, if it's week 4, week 5, eventually Diggs will come on and be a key element of this defensive roster on the secondary.
And dude, like you were saying, like to throw out a corner on an island by himself.
Right.
A rookie corner. I mean, it's going to be difficult. Yeah. You're going to have to send help his way, but I just believe, man, Diggs is ready to go. I have a lot of confidence in him.
I do too.
And I think playing at Bama had him pro style already. I think he's gonna do great things, man. Even as a rookie, I think he's one of those guys that can transition easy to the game at corner. He'll have his moments, but he'll have some good moments.
I think he's similar to the whole CeeDee Lamb. Like they're one above being a rookie. They're not obviously not seasoned
because of their skill set.
Because of their skill set, they're already like one above being a rookie. And I'm just hoping with Diggs having, family already in the NFL, he has that little bit of more knowledge of how to keep it cool and, just in what it is to play in the NFL. And I just think they're both like Diggs was a first round grade. I mean, But even if he went first round, he would be.
It is hard. It's probably the hardest position to play as a rookie as a corner because you're going to be. I mean, come on, we're gonna throw Diggs out there. We're gonna throw Diggs against Julio Jones.
That's what I'm saying.
Offense coordinator is gonna fall.
He's gonna get attacked.
Right.
But just me personally, I believe Diggs can hold his own. I'm just a big fan of his, and I think he'll do great things.
Diggs is going to be one of those players. He's not going to back down from the challenge. Right. So, Eagle fan, put Diggs on Deshaun Jackson. Okay, cool. We'll do that.
We're not scared of that, man. Hey,
I'll take that matchup. Yeah,
I'm fine with that.
But I think Worley starting off will be. He's going to be on the field. Either it's going to be at safety. If he moves to safety, then that opens up that spot for maybe Diggs to come down. I'm a huge Jordan Lewis fan. I like J. Lou. I would like to see him get some reps.
Yes.
I like Cheeto. I'm not really big on Anthony Brown. I'm really not an Anthony Brown guy.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. I
like him.
I'm just not big on Anthony Brown. So if it was up to me, if I could do perfect scenario, I would say Diggs, Cheeto, and J. Lou. But just using my gut, I would say Worley, Cheeto, and then J. Lou for now.
Yeah,
and then,
I can see that.
Yeah, and then, but I would say, and I still think that even if HaHa has a bad camp, I would still think he's going to start. I feel like he is.
Yeah,
I feel like he is.
Put Darren Thompson in there.
Yeah, you can't put Thompson back there. And like I said, I'm rolling with Xavier Woods. for four more games.
Oh yeah.
4 more games. So
X gotta start back there, man.
He's going to start. He's having a.
Oh, no, he is. He's
going to start.
Sure.
Yeah, because
even if you had gotten the whole Earl Thomas thing, I think he still would have started.
Yeah, they both. You just want to play free safety and just want to play strong safety.
Because not Earl Thomas. Spoke too soon. Xavier Woods. He's one of those players. He has the capability there. I feel like he, just like Jalen Smith, he overthought a lot of things. He took bad angles. He was just wanting to do too much. And I watched this interview. Who's kind of mentioned about disguising the schemes, different looks. He's going to be used all over the field. So that excites him as a player. So I feel like the Mike Nolan and the staff are going to use him in different ways and really use his strengths, because you think about athleticism, just raw athletic ability. Xavier Woods is off the chart, but you also, as a safety, have to be in the proper position. So the idea is that we're going to play a lot more physical this year. We're not going to give up, that cloud coverage where we can just beat underneath, that kind of bend, don't break, which I hate.
We're going to press you right to the line.
We're going to jam Deshaun Stevenson up in his throat, and he won't be able to get off the line. And so I feel like with that, it'll let Xavier Woods kind of play over top, hover over top, and use his skill set. So
no more sitting back in that Tampa 2 defense and running that cover 3 that everybody knew in the entire game. That's all we're running now.
Without disguising it. Okay, we're in cover 3.
Without disguising it. Now we'll be running all over the place. 3-4, 4-3, and nickel, all this stuff. We'll have everybody in different schemes. So
we're not playing a safe defense.
Right. We're not playing safe. We'll get up in your face. We'll be blitzing. It'll be fun. These corners are gonna have to hold their own though, because they're gonna be playing a lot of man. So we're gonna see. We'll see what takes. Let's see if he's up to the challenge.
And by saying that, by us playing a lot of man, I think that's where our depth is really going to come into play, because you got to stay on rotation. So I think giving different looks, rotating players in, giving different looks will definitely be up to our advantage, because we have the depth at secondary that Philly doesn't have.
There it is. There it is.
So guys, I don't want to keep you so long, because I know you're on Eastern time. But I just want to kind of get your thoughts. What is your thoughts for this season? What is your expectations for Mike McCarthy in his first year with the Dallas Cowboys?
Go ahead.
Super Bowl or bust, right?
All right, Super Bowl or bust. Okay.
We've got the talent.
Right. I want to make it.
We've got the coaches.
Least to the NFC.
We've got the quarterback. We've got it all. We should, with ease, make the NFC Championship game. I see the Cowboys going 11-5, 12-4. This team is way too talented to be less than that, man. I mean, this offense is going to put up points. It's going to be an exciting season. It's going to be a change.
Right.
It's going to be something the NFL hasn't seen yet, man. These Cowboys are going to be dangerous. We're a talented team, and the NFL better watch out. 12-4 for me. NFC Championship game for the boys.
Okay.
Pretty much what he said. 12-4 for me, and we have to make it to the NFC Championship game. I mean, we have all that. We have all the talent that you can imagine. Like, we went from here to here in talent, upgrading. Right. Now you have Mike McCarthy, you have Mike Nolan, you have a new special teams coach. I think that we should, there's no doubt we don't make the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like NFC Championship should be the expectation, if not, it's not the ceiling by any means. Because I feel like Mike McCarthy and the staff had to get us past the hump that Jason Garrett couldn't get us to. Now, granted, I'm just not one of those people who are going to give us, the COVID pass or the, preseason and all that stuff. No, I feel like if we're going to lace them up and play football, winning is going to be the expectation regardless. I know a lot of people today with everything going on, okay, the football season might get canceled and all. Let's just relax. Let's take a breath. We're battling a lot right now, but I think the football season is going to go through. Hopefully it goes through uninterrupted. And I feel like, with this team that we have in place, there can be a lot of, different expectations. Because even when you watch this team, it just feels different. When you watch the interviews with the staff, the players, like I've mentioned numerous times, it feels more like a lunch pail mentality. And I feel like the players are locked in on football. I mean, and granted, I think it's going to be a different in Dallas. So I would say, not NFC East, but NFC Championship. That's where the expectation should be for the staff, and I feel like we're going to meet the expectation, and definitely going to beat the Eagles. Because what I failed to mention the other day, the only reason that Eagles game really came into play was coaching last year, and also special teams, right?
Special teams was disastrous, man. That New England game,
Yeah,
Special
yeah,
teams was horrible.
yeah.
Well, we have an
Peg.
upgrade on that at least.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
said
It'll be a
Zerline.
huge upgrade.
Zerline, knock on
Starline
wood,
hasn't missed, bro.
hasn't missed. Yeah, so Peg Leg Maurer last year was costing us games, but so we'll be back in the grips of things, man. But guys, man, I appreciate you coming on. Like I said, it feels like having family on the show. But let everyone know once again where they can find you guys. We'll definitely bring on numerous more times. But where can they find you right now?
Yeah, you guys can find us at SoFlo Cowboys on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, every social media platform, man. Just come on. We love talking Cowboys football. Follow, subscribe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much for having us.
No problem. Anytime, guys. Like I said, man, it feels like having family on the show. So we'll definitely
Appreciate
do it again.
Tuck.
And then for you guys new to my channel, go ahead, comment, like, subscribe. You can find me on Cowboys Fans Only on YouTube. Somewhere down there, subscribe, share, comment. Even if you're an Eagles fan and you're posting birds on the comment, subscribe anyway. Also follow me on Twitter at JTuck151. I follow all Cowboys fans back. And if you're an Eagles fan, depending on who you are, I might follow back. I might follow back.
J-Tuck got a Philly fans following him now.
Yeah, man, I know, man. I'm gonna start doing Eagles content or something. Hell no, man.
You can add the Eagles, but just like their bad plays.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
When they do stupid
But
things.
like I said, honestly, like I really don't have a problem with the Eagles. I really just hate wherever Deshaun Jackson plays. Like, so when Deshaun Jackson was in Washington, I hated Washington. Now he's just back in Philly, so I do not like Deshaun Jackson. When it comes to my two most hated athletes, is Rajon Rondo and Deshaun Jackson. those are two people. Like, so if I play on the internet, like I just can't wait. I just can't wait till he runs his little slant route across the middle and Xavier Woods just takes his lights off. They said that Xavier Woods could have probably ended Blake Jarwin's career the other day and can't, but he pulled up.
I saw that. Yeah,
and so Xavier Woods, when it comes to the game against the Eagles and Deshaun Jackson happens to come across your face,
it's over.
Do what you got to do, man. It's all right, man. I'll send you a little Cash App money over it. Thank you, man. But like I said, guys, it was a blast having you on. Go ahead and comment and subscribe to their channel. Follow them on Twitter, all their social media. Cowboys fam, stay tuned, man, because we got a lot coming up next week. Some more guests we're working on. Just exciting things. So I appreciate all the support. Appreciate the guys coming in the chat and the girls too coming in the chat, keeping everything lit. And we're going to hop on later tonight. Me and Jonathan's probably going to play some Madden. So if you play Madden, find me on PlayStation. My PlayStation is TZ Does It. TZDUZIT. I'll post in the chat. We can play some Madden. If you're an Eagles fan, do what you gotta do, and I'll see what happens. So, but it's your boy J Tuck, man, signing off. Everyone stay blessed, stay safe, stay encouraged, stay positive. We're going through a lot right now, but we're all gonna get through this together. It's the only way we're gonna get through this together. So everyone keep their head up, and we'll see you on the other side. How about those Cowboys?